Hello artists! Today we're going to be creating watercolor tie-dye Zentangles. So for this project you need a piece of white paper. This is the drawing that I created and I'll show you how I created this really cool Zentangle drawing. You need some washable markers. You need a permanent marker. You need some foil, aluminum foil that's the same size as your paper. You need a spray bottle with some water. And you need some ideas for patterns. I have some of these really cool Zentangle pattern books. And you can, if you're working at home, you can Google Zentangle patterns and how to create some of these really cool Zentangle patterns. Or you could just look around in your house or in your classroom if you're following along in class for some really cool pattern ideas. Or you can come up with some on your own. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to take your paper and draw a very simple outline of a pumpkin or another fall shape. So for a pumpkin, I just kind of create a big letter C and a big backwards letter C. And then I add my stem. I wanted 4 patterns. So my stem has 1 pattern and then I have 3 patterns on my pumpkin. So I need to draw 2 lines to divide that up. So here's how I did that. I went ahead and I just kind of started at the top and draw a curve to the bottom and a curve. I'll take that one that I made right there, a curve to the bottom. Then you can either, like I said, look up some patterns to follow along with or come up with one on your own. This one looks pretty easy. This one's called squares and it's just a bunch of squares that repeat, and you can leave it white or you can color it black and white. So I think I'll try that one. That one looks really easy. Squares that repeat. You can look around you on your clothing, on your shoes, in your classroom, in your house, and kind of come up with whatever pattern you would like. On this one, I followed along. I did a feather pattern. Oops, that got a little funky. And the whole point of Zentangles is making a mark on your paper, and since it's Sharpie marker, you cannot erase it. So if you make an oops, you turn it into a beautiful oops. You can also jazz it up a little bit. Maybe you want to put polka dots in some of yours. Maybe you want to add little decorations, maybe just this row. And I'll skip that row and I'll do this row. So fill in each of your spaces with a really fun pattern. You can be inspired by fall, or like I said, you can go ahead and look up some really interesting, this is the feathers pattern that I created. So I'll put some of those up on the screen at the end. I also did this triangle pattern in there. So a couple different patterns, and work in class we have to work quickly because we want to get to the watercolor part. So the next part is move your picture to the side and make sure your foil is just about the same size as your picture because you don't want to be wasting time coloring. We're actually going to use the markers and color on the foil. So since mine's a pumpkin, I think I'm going to do some pumpkin colors like orange. And you can create a pattern on this. You can make stripes. I kind of just like to fill in random spots of color. I like to do an orange spot, and this goes pretty quick. Make sure you snap that cap. I think I'll do a yellow part. Try not to leave too many spots open. I'll do red. I'll get kind of close to the edge, but not filling it all the way in. I think I'll do green over here. And it's okay if it starts to look like it's kind of disappearing in spots. Maybe I'll do blue on this side. Because we're going to take our spray bottle, move my markers to the side, all my caps are snapped. I'm gonna go ahead and take my spray bottle, and I'm just gonna give it maybe 1 or 2 sprays of water. 1 seems like it might be enough. Maybe I'll give another little baby spray. I'll take my paper, and I'm gonna put it on top. Line it up. Now, if there's marker coming out of here and you rub on that, that's gonna get on your fingers. So sometimes it helps to have a scrap piece of paper. So I have just a scrap piece of paper laying around. If you have a newspaper or something, put that down, and then you can rub, rub, rub. Sorry if that camera is shaking, and really press. And this is a type of printing where you make a print on your paper. And let's see what it looks like. Oh, cool. Very cool. So the more water you add, the more the colors bleed together. And if I probably did one more spray, I think more of it would have looked like that, but I kind of like this speckliness on my picture. And you can see all of the ink where it pulled off of the foil. So there's my tie-dye pumpkin Zentangle. I hope you have fun, and I can't wait to see what you create. Bye-bye.